Welcome to the world of Marissa Marchan channel. A weekly serialized story full of heartfelt moments and relatable characters that will capture audiences' attention. Coming to America, The Journey, Part 6. High School Days, Part 2. As summer ended, school began. I could feel the buzz of anticipation as I packed my bag with notebooks and pencils. The start of 11th grade marked an exciting chapter in my journey, filled with new experiences and challenges. Chatter filled the hallways as students reunited, lockers clanged shut, and teachers shouted greetings. I was excited to see my friends again and catch up on everything we missed over the summer. We exchanged stories about vacations, summer jobs, and adventures. However, I noticed a distinct change. I wasn't sure why some of my friends seemed distant to me. Their laughter seemed forced, and their conversations felt cold. While I was at home during summer break, I learned that my friends worked at Dole Cannery where they met someone and started dating. Their newfound romance pulled them into something I wasn't part of. I felt left out as they spent more time talking about their partners and less about our usual antics. The way things used to be seemed unlikely to return. Aside from Mercy, who remained with me, the summer of 1977 marked the end of our friendship. 17 was a complicated year, full of conflicting emotions and unexpected changes. I couldn't deny that dating was a popular activity among teens in high school. Couples occupied our usual hangout spot under the tree, holding hands and whispering secrets to each other. Others sat in the grass engrossed in their own dreams and plans. I thought the school grounds had become more of a lover's paradise than a hangout for friends. With the new students joining our group, we formed new friendships. These new connections brought excitement and filled the void left by our old friends. Soon, we reclaimed our usual spot. As soon as the bell rang for recess, we rushed up to our favorite place and claimed it before anyone else could. It became a game of sorts, racing to see who got there first. 17 was a transitional year as we navigated the complexities of growing up and forming new relationships. Like other school students, I had my share of teenage crushes and soon found myself swept up in high school social life. My experience was unique compared to others. One of my male classmates surprised me by kneeling in front of me during class. He begged me to go out with him. His earnest expression and clasped hands surprised me. He handed me a small note detailing his feelings and asking for a chance. His heartfelt gesture stunned me, and I gently turned him down. It seemed like a conspiracy when a classmate from another class stood in front of me at my desk. He said nothing. He just stood there, waiting for me to acknowledge his presence. It was weird and unsettling. He had a shy smile on his face, which made the whole situation feel less intimidating. I asked if he needed anything, but he shook his head and walked away without saying a word. It became a ritual between us. Each day, he'd appear at my desk, stand there for a few moments, and then leave. In today's world, he would probably be labeled a stalker or a crazy kid. However, in the 1970s, his behavior was considered a harmless curiosity. One day, he was gone. He left me a note in my notebook saying, "Thank you," without explanation. And then, out of nowhere, one of my classmates helped me carry my books. I never heard him say he liked me or anything. He just waited for me outside the classroom and walked me to my next class. It was a sweet gesture, both endearing and perplexing. He was friendly, and we became friends. He was the only guy my mom spoke to when he passed by our house holding his guitar. There was a sweet conversation between them over the fence. We didn't date or anything like that. He only carried my books through my senior year of high school. Landlines were a popular communication method back then. It was a time when building connections was as simple as picking up the phone and dialing a familiar number. Each home had a thick phone book containing your address and phone number, making it simple to find you. Sometimes, my friends and I talked for hours after school. Among them were boys from my school who wanted to be friends with me. My sisters and I used to play a trick where whenever I received a phone call from a boy, I passed it around to them. They changed their voices and pretended to be me, confusing the caller. It was all in good fun, and we giggled endlessly after each call. There were times when our conversations were lighthearted, but others covered more serious topics, such as invitations to watch movies or go out on dates. I declined, but some persisted. Every time a car stopped in front of our house, my sisters and I peeked out the window. I recognized some of them from school. No. Don't come to our house. We often say this when we see someone getting out of their car. My sisters and I knew what would happen. Mom would likely punish and scold me endlessly. We were terrified of her. Our mother was like a guard dog. She could sniff out any potential suitor from a mile away, and her protective nature often scared them off before they even reached the door. Mom was the enforcer in the house. She believed in maintaining strict discipline and focusing on our studies and responsibilities. Mom had a point since we were young. Her strictness, however, sometimes seemed exaggerated. Dad was more relaxed and allowed us to make mistakes. The more he understood us, the more freedom we had. With two different parenting styles, my siblings and I often were caught in the middle. While Mom's strict rules kept us disciplined, Dad's leniency provided balance. It was hard being a teenager. I often felt like I had no one to turn to for advice or support. My friends were dealing with their own teenage dramas, and my siblings were just as wary of upsetting Mom. It felt like I was navigating adolescence on my own, trying to find the right balance between independence and obedience. I knew deep down that Mom and Dad wanted the best for us, even if their approaches were worlds apart. It was an intriguing time in my life, filled with innocent flirtations, schoolgirl giddy excitement, and the simple joys of teenage years. While it was flattering to receive so much attention, it never tempted me to commit to anything more than friendship. It wasn't because I was too young, but because my mother would punish me if I got caught. She held the same expectations for each of us, regardless of our age or maturity level. Her unwavering rules extended from the oldest to the youngest, ensuring we all adhere to her standards without exception. It didn't matter that Loida and Tessie were in their 20s. Mom's vigilance never waned, and her presence constantly reminded us of the boundaries we couldn't cross. Never did I imagine I would one day break my mother's strict rules. Tune in next week to see how this exciting story continues from Marissa Marchan channel. Please check out my channel trailer video to learn more about the exciting content you can expect from my channel. Your support means the world to me. I write young adult, new adult, and middle grade fiction. For more information about my work, visit marissamarchan.com. Don't forget to watch my other videos. Thank you.